Dropping off my bike right now at a fab shop to get my cage done. I'll say some more shit about it later. Came over here to Pocus Powder Coating and T-Fab Custom Fab. We're gonna see what they about. Told me, he quoted me roughly between $350 to $450 roughly, depending on how much it actually takes him time-wise and shit, and once he puts the metal and whatnot. Which actually ain't too bad. I told him, we talked about making the brow straight in the front and then chopping the back of the cage, or actually rising the back of the cage up to make it level to the front. So we'll see how that works out. But I also told him that we was talking about it, how the rear is kind of tweaked just for me flipping it and before I flipped it, and he was saying how it won't be perfect, and I told him I ain't even expect it to be perfect, to be honest, because it being flipped like that. And if I did want it to be perfect, we'd have to start from the ground up, and I don't think it's worth it to me to do that. So we'll just go from there and see. So I'll let y'all know how it looks. Oh shit. So I picked up my, so the other day I picked up my hood from paint, and it matches, same exact color as the mirrors. It matches pretty decently. Truck's really dirty, but I will be getting the truck paint corrected soon for scraping, hopefully. And then I picked up my bike from the shop, and it had a V, before I got it cut, it had a V here in the middle. And then the back was leaning, it was leaning to the back like this. So what I had him do was just cut the V out and make a straight bar, straight brow, as low as he could do with the old roof that I had. And then what he did was he ended up just making new tubing coming up from where it mounts to the frame. And as you can see, it sits pretty level. The front's pulled down right now because of the winch, but on flat concrete it sits pretty level. I will end up putting a shield, and then he drilled me a hole here so I could run this wire down the tube, and I'm gonna end up welding this in and putting another hole down here, I think, probably, to run my wire from my speaker. Put me some little brackets to hang down. It doesn't hang down too far, it's kind of perfect. So he did a good job, I think, at least. Looks good to me. Before he did it, when we were talking about it, he was like, look, he won't be able to get the fronts straight and the backs he can get decently straight because he's gonna make new ones. But it's pretty straight. I mean, it was already bent up. Like, this side's a little like this, and this side is more kind of straight, but it looks pretty good. I mean, it needs powder and whatnot, but I think with a full shield, you won't really be able to tell, and it'll look pretty good. So no fault to the dude that ended up chopping my cage, but the speaker just sat a little too low for me. It was like right my eye level almost. So I ended up sitting it up as high as possible, to be able to sit straight, and end up drilling out the holes. And then now I got a rough mark. I'm gonna cut it something like that, and then I'll take a file that down into a soft curve like this. But the speaker sits about to here. The bottom of the speaker sits like here, so it'll cover it up. I just didn't want it to be in my face, so it sits a little bit higher now. It also kind of sit behind this more, but I will be putting the windshield. And then this gives me the opportunity. I took all the wires out, unplugged everything, so I'll be able to run everything through here and just out of here for now. Whenever I bring the cage to powder, I'll probably end up welding this through, or welding this in, and then drilling a hole down here, but we'll see. So this is my soundboard now that I cut them brackets. As you can see, I cut about yay much off, 1.5 inches maybe. Rounded off the edges as best as I could, sprayed a little paint on it. Same thing on the other side. It's as high up as it can go because the back touches here. Ran my wire here, and for now I just got to run through here. I just finished resealing some of my snorkel pipes and put in a little silicone right here. Changed my belt and resealed my belt box. Getting ready for us to go to Sabine, so there's that side little mount. Whenever I take the cage off and everything to send it to powder, I'll probably clean up everything a little more. Clean up some of these welds just a hair. I might end up welding the whole thing just to make sure it don't rattle at all. But we'll see how it does this ride. I do need to get some bolts because I only got one bolt on each of I literally only have one bolt on each corner, I think. I don't think not even one side has both. So yeah, I have the bolts. I just need to get some nuts. Wish I would remember that at the store, but it's all good.